Welcome everyone back to Pommy and Oz. Hope we're all doing really well. If you're new around here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. It really does help the channel out. Can't thank you enough for your support. And what we're going to do today is look at probably the GOAT of AFL draft content. That is Mr. Twomey. Obviously, he's been a huge inspiration to probably anyone who does draft content. He was the first person I watched and listened to before I got and bit my teeth into it. So we're going to have a look. He's pretty good at this. He genuinely gets about 15 out of 20 right across the board, sometimes higher. This is probably the hardest draft, though. Definitely, we've got so many great content creators in this space at the moment. We've got Dylan, who's been on the show. We've got Big Daz. Got a load of guys that we have a look at. So you can see this year there's been a real big difference. And genuinely, I don't look at Twomey's work since doing this until about now, just because I don't want any ideas in my head. So I've taken a look at his mock draft. I thought, let's react to it together. We're going to have my power rankings in the bracket so we can see how me and Twomey differ, but also just learn a little bit about the players. So let's get straight into it. And here is his first 18 selection. So Sam Layla, I think everyone has got him pick one. I think that's probably the biggest no-brainer in the AFL at the minute. I think we'll be all shocked if Sam Layla isn't announced at pick one. But there has been tales of Jagger Smith late. But I had him third ranked in my rankings, so that's different to the mock draft. My rankings, I like to do it based on how I see a longevity of the career mixed with talent, but everyone's got him going to Richmond, so I think that's a no-brainer. It's interesting that I had pick two in my mock draft as Vince O'Sullivan as well. I do think they'll go best midfielder, and I think they'll go for like a little dynamic change. You could argue Sid Draper here. You could even argue Jagger Smith here as well. I do think when I look at North Melbourne's midfield, they've kind of got the cake and the icing, so a pick around there makes total sense. I had Finn fifth in my power ranking, so probably a bit early, but then again, like I said, I always say to you guys and girls, power rankings and mock draft, two different things. One is me just with my likability, and then I'm trying to fit them in their teams. In at 3, Jagger Smith, real interesting because I actually ruled him out in my recent Blue Abroad video, so I could look very foolish here. But, mate, you live, you learn. But could Jagger play for Carlton? 100% he could. I've got him as the second best player behind Levi Ashcroft. Been hot on Levi all year, but Jagger, for me, is the best available player. This would show Carlton take a shift towards where genuinely they go a bit more speculative when they've gone for players. They've gone for traits over guarantees. Jagger is one of the best players I've seen in junior football extract the pill, accumulate the pill, keep the change moving. The biggest thing here, what excites me about if Jagger does land at Carlton, is I think you'll suddenly see a better Cherub, but you'll suddenly see a 2021 Sam Walsh, a guy that's going to be that first receiver, and Sam Walsh can be the second, be the end product. I really do like this selection. I ruled him out just because I think it's easier to fabricate that with what Carlton are doing with Cherub and Walsh, but I could see it happening, and genuinely, if it happens, I'll welcome him to the club with open arms. Great player, and I highly rate him as the second best pick. So do I think Carlton have got POD? It's interesting that Agresta said point of difference, and Jagger has got point of difference. I just think there's players in around this pick that have more POD, and that leads us on to Adelaide, Sid Draper. I have him the 4th ranked best player in here. Hot on Sid. He'll end up at Adelaide. It's interesting this because the rumours late of Adelaide linked with Jagger makes sense. I feel like missing Sloan, they want that ball accumulator, that guy who can keep the chains moving. So it's fascinating that they're so hot on Jagger, rumoured, it has to be said. Sid Draper makes sense, though. Levi Ashcroft at 5, match bid. I had him as the best player. Again, he should be Richmond's pick 1, but it's the way the AFL is. I don't care what they say, these dodgy deals and stuff, they don't want to get rid of them, but let's be honest, in real life, they definitely happen. They happen. Great pickup for them. They've just won the flag. Rich get richer. 6, Cow had Harvey Langford. I have him as the 7th best talent. I had him going there in the mock draft. It makes sense to me. Incredible player. When you link to Marcus Bonapelli, it really gives them that outlet as well, helps Christian Petrarca out. It's going to be interesting if they can get the best out of Clary. If they can do that, that is a terrific signing. Richmond would be stoked with 7, Josh Smiley. I think they'll be hoping Langford slides down there. You could make an argument for Smiley at Melbourne as well. You could make an argument for Tall at Melbourne as well. But Josh Smiley, a guy that was in the mix for the top 3 players, and this is what's really interesting about their 6 that will be 7 with their match. Richmond are guaranteed to get a person pretty much that was top 3 6 months ago. So, real good little call there. TT, Big Toby, up at St Kilda, pick A. Now, this is the first time that I'll probably massively disagree. I think he could be a shout for one of their picks. If the draft went like this, I could see them maybe going the next best player. I had him as 12 in my power rankings. Halfback flankers, I do knock them a little bit purely because they're the most common position in the AFL. But an elite kick, I do think that they'll go midfielder here, though. Obviously, that would open up players like Murphy Reid, players like that. That's who I link them with. He slid down, but I am hot on him. There's other players as well that you could go. Bo Allen, who has played halfback, more of a midfielder. Toby definitely will go into the midfield towards the end of his career. It was an interesting, this one, because the next pick I definitely disagree with. But Leo Lombardo, I had him as the 8th best player. Gold Coast matched that bid. Alex Tyree is an interesting one. I had him as the 9th best player, so it is going around where I saw it. Alex Tyree, I think when you've got Lennox Hoffman and Adrian Cole, is a key. And I know I don't class Alex as a key. He's 193. He's got to grow a bit for me. He's more that interceptor, so it is probably a direct replacement for Josh Battle, but more exciting. I don't see them doubling up on defenders when they've got defenders on there. Obviously, Toby is more of a mid, definitely will be a mid. I could see a Xavier Lindsay or a player like that in this pick, but very good selections, 11, Bo Allen. This one came as a surprise because I have Harry Armstrong going to them here. I was really pleased that Carl, the legend that he is, gave huge raps to Job Shanahan, though, because I do like Job Shanahan more if I was picking a player over Harry. But Bo Allen, terrific player. And if anyone can get him here, it's a good shout. Richmond, I had Bo Allen. I had these kind of switched up, but Xavier Lindsay, 14 at Richmond. I had him 14th. Cal has him 12th in this mock draft. Big fan of Xavier Lindsay, an absolute bullet-like foot, can do just about everything. And I think as time goes on, he will become an inside midfielder, but this is an absolute huge acquisition for him. This kid is a jet. Bullet-like foot. Isaac Keiko, he had at 13. I had him 13th ranked player. Job Shanahan, I had him 16th best player, and he gave him such a rap. I had him going to Richmond in my mock draft. I am a huge fan of Big Job. I really like his versatility. I like his mobility as well. I think he's got everything that I can see. I'm a big fan of Richmond. If Richmond get these picks, I think Richmond will be stoked. And if it goes how Mr. Twomey has said, what an acquisition. At 15, he had Murphy Reid. Now, I am really hot on Murphy Reid, Mr. Consistency. And the way that I judge my power rankings, remember the rules, eye, data, fit for what I like. I've got a real intricate way of liking players. I like safety. Murphy Reid for me is the safest selection here, and if West Coast get him here, I had him 6th best player in this draft. That's huge for me. Absolutely huge. Great pickup, and he really does. He's ready to go. And very similar to them players of the glory years. When I look at West Coast Eagles, it's really sad because I would say for a good decade they've been the best ball skill using side in the AFL, and then obviously they've left it a bit late for this rebuild, and now it's gone downhill and they just can't kick over a jam tin. Murphy Reid coming in is an absolute great acquisition, and it's great to see West Coast have that style that I'm familiar with, and it's nice to see it return with Murphy Reid. 16, Harry Armstrong. They do need a key, definitely. This is interesting. Harry Armstrong, what a pickup. I had him as 11th best talent. I think his back end of the year takes him over Job. I think the body of work makes me like Job more. Great acquisition for them. They've got rid of a few young keys as well. Charlie Dixon obviously leaves a hole. him and the big Greek. That is exciting. Mitch Giordaldis. That would be great. 17, Joe Berry. 19, I had him. I had him going to Fremantle, though. Great pickup for them. I really love that. 18, GWS. I have him 23rd best player, Jack Whitlock, which I am quite surprised about. I had Jack Whitlock going to Sydney. Is it a dire need? I suppose it is in a way. Jesse Hogan, they've got Cadman. They probably don't have that tall. It's a good stopgap. Be very interesting if that happens. I do like it, though. I really do like it. Taj Houghton was the next pickup, and we guaranteed this. The 17th best player, I've got him in the draft. I really like this selection for them. 20 Cooper Hines. They'll be stoked with this. I think Cooper Hines is the most slept-on footballer in this draft. 100% the most slept-on footballer in this draft. Absolutely love everything Cooper's about. Jesse Tatoli, 21 to Richmond. I really do like this pick. I had something very similar in my mock draft, if you remember. I had Richmond going tall here, but they took Cooper Hines because of the way my draft fell here. But I really like this. I had Tatoli going to GWS, so this is a great pickup. 24 in my talent rankings. Jonty Fall makes me happy because I went tall. I went Jack Whitlock with Sydney, but 29th best talent. Jonty Fall, an incredible talent. I do think that is a need when I look at what Sydney have got. I do think they would like to add a tall player there. I would more stray towards down the back, but I do think key forward, it makes sense. Matt Whitlock ends up at Richmond, which is very exciting there. They've really gone hard. I can't help feel that when I do look at this mock draft, that they've really balanced the list out. I tried to do the same, get a forward, a back, and everything else. I had them taking Alex Tyra, if you remember, 7, which split the room. But I do like this. I feel like Twomey's done the same model that I did. I did mine about a week before him, but I tried to and get all the aces in the places. So Richmond to be stoked with these selections, I think. Harrison Oliver, I had him going to GWS. He looks like a GWS player. Great ball user, probably the best ball user in the draft. I love the fact that he's had these bids as well late. 5 for Levi Ashcroft, 25 for Marshall. Like I said, I don't think he's going to be that heavily competitive this year. I think you're going to see some sliders. Ollie Hannaford going to Richmond, going to Sydney, which I really do like. And I'll tell you for why. I maybe went too tall. That was the feedback I had from Richmond fans. Ollie Hannaford, though, I had him as 28th best talent. It is that type of player that comes in straight away and kicks goals. Jasper Olga and Luke Traynor, I had him sliding in my draft down to 20. I didn't think he'd go this far because I've got him 18th best talent. This is a great pickup for Richmond. Richmond, if they can do this, would they double up? I'd imagine Matt Whitlock's going to definitely be used as a key defender because I think he looks a lot more reliable there. Luke Traynor there. Be interested with the Tom Lynch. I think 2 key forwards. I did the same thing. I had Jonty Fall and Job Shanahan. I thought 2 key forwards with Tom Lynch. I like this. Jasper Olga, though, come late. Incredible small forward. And a great replacement for early Shai Bolton, I think. I really do like that. Christian Miraz at the Doggies. We had the same as well. Around where he is as well. We had him 33. They have him 29. I like that. And then we finished with Ned Bowman, who we actually had undrafted in ours, purely because there's a plethora of small forwards. Cal had him at 30. I had him as 50th best talent. Real interesting one, this. Norwood boy. Real combative. It's real interesting, this. I'd love to hear West Coast fans here because I feel like there's so much talent on the board, given how this draft has gone, that I think they may go a different way. But that is a real fascinating one. All in all, can't complain. He is the GOAT for a reason, and we're merely trying to get that appeal. But fantastic draft. It was a real interesting one. Let me know what you thought of it. I really enjoyed it. It's going to be a real good one. I do predict, I think that Twomey may get 10 wrong out of that 30. That's my prediction. I just think it's so tight to call when he said it himself. So hard. Mine changes every day I do it, and me and my buddies talk. Let me know what you think, though, chat. Always great hearing from you. Peace, love, and light. I'll see you tomorrow. I am live both days. Got the great Terry Degani from Blue Abroad with me, so it's going to be really good. Got some funky graphics, highlights, the full kibosh. It's going to be a one-stop shop for the draft. So come and see me, and Terry, can't wait to see you all.
you're rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad.